Record to the class.
Good morning, everybody.
Not you.
Oh, not yet. Sorry.
No.
Why does it say enable instead of, oh shoot, what is that? Go live.
Yeah, you'll see the notification come up that you're streaming live. There we go.
Okay, so now, good morning, everybody.
And she's back.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Facebook. Come in, come in, come in. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. Great to be here again. I feel like I definitely have a bedroom in the Woo community. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my session, the Changemaker semi-annual check-in. Come in, we are going to check in. I want to check in with you. I want you to check in with me. Get your water as usual. Something you can take screenshots with, pen and paper if you're a note taker or want something extra to add in your journaling exercises. Come in. Good morning, good morning. Come in, welcome. Welcome to the Changemaker semi-annual check-in. Get some pen and paper, get ready to take some screenshots just in case. Bring an open mind and open heart and check in with your girl this morning. Good morning, Zoom. How y'all doing this morning?
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Come in. Welcome to the Changemaker semi-annual check-in. Get your water, get your pen and paper. Bring open mind and open heart. And check in with your girl. I was just telling Facebook that I feel like I've been here so many times. I feel like I have a bedroom in the Woo community, in the Woo house. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How you doing, Martine? How's everyone doing for the Woo family?
Hey, Adam. I'm doing well as well. I see Zakia, Abimbola, Stacy. Good morning.
Good morning, Grand Rising. How is everyone today?
We are doing great. Come in. Welcome to the Changemaker semi-annual check-in. I'm going to check in with you and I want you to check in with me. Welcome.
Hey, Martine, just remind them again if there's anything that they needed. You said water, journaling, something for taking those screenshots. We got new participants in who might have missed that message.
Okay. Oh, well, welcome new participants. Welcome. My name is Martine Malivers, and welcome to my session, the Changemakers semi-annual check-in. Grab you some water, tea, coffee. I wish I had some coffee right now. I didn't get up early enough to make it. Pen and paper, a device where you can take some screenshots or have your phone ready just in case you see something you want to take with you, and bring open minds and open heart. We're trying to do 30 minutes today. That is my goal. I had so many goals that I set through Woo. So that is my goal. So it's gonna be short and sweet. Short and sweet check-in. You check in with me, I check in with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Peace and blessing, Martine and family. Woo
Peace and
Nation.
blessings, Teresa. How are you?
I'm sleepy, but I have to get up and be part of this. This is part of what I love to do.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a great way to start your morning.
Yes, that's why I love it too. Thank you.
That's what we're gonna be talking about too. Because I know for me personally, Woo has changed my life. This community feeds my soul in ways I've never received nourishment.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, Woo family, grand rising. Hope everybody is doing well. My name is Martine Malivers. I am a research nurse. I am a child sexual abuse prevention educator, and in 2011, I founded Touch the Rebellion Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make the public aware of the prevalence of child sexual abuse in all communities and teach preventative measures against it. And most recently, I identified myself as the Changemaker. After culminating the Be the Tree Rite of Passage, I fully understand my purpose and calling. I'm a graduate of cohort 17 and a proud Heather. In that program, I was tasked with quite a few things, but most importantly to me, describing the brand I embody and creating a brand declaration and a purpose statement, which I could never put into words before participating in that program. And today I can proudly and confidently say that my brand is Love Always Wins the War. And my purpose is to gain consensus in identifying toxic cultural norms and replacing them with new, healthy norms. That's the short side of it. And we do that through creative programming and education. So after graduating, I joined the Woo community and I have to be to work at 6:30 a.m. So it's kind of 6:30 a.m., which is 7:30 for you guys. So it was easy for me to get up, and eventually I facilitated my first session. And this experience with Woo has been life-changing for me because it was one thing to come up with a brand declaration. It was one thing to come up with a purpose statement, but it was a whole other thing to actually do the work and exercise those things and walk in my purpose. And I can't think of anything that I had access to, a better place to start doing that. than here with you. I love you guys so much. I'm gonna get teary-eyed. Woo has changed my life. And I hear so many people say that, and I've heard it since the first session that I've been on. And I was like, what are they talking about? What is this about? And the thing that I love about Woo is you don't have to be an expert. I look as Woo as kind of like my mental playground where I can tell you guys all the crazy things that are going through my head, and I get so much feedback, and you guys are doing nothing but helping me to evolve. So there was a 30-minute session left here. I did a session setting boundaries and a precedent, and I thought today would be my follow-up session, but it was only a 30-minute session. And one of the admins, the beautiful Chantel, encouraged me to take it on anyway. And I said, well, what could I do? Because I was banned for 30 minutes from 30-minute sessions. If anybody has expected to be on with me, and one of my previous 30-minute sessions for 30 minutes, we always go over like an hour. So I was like, well, what could I do where we could keep it in 30 minutes? So that's the goal today. And I said, I'm going to do a check-in because I've done quite a few workshops with you guys. So I want to check in with you. I want you to check in with me. I want to get some feedback. I want to get some testimonials. I want to go over tools. And I also want to hold us accountable, because a lot of times we come onto forums like this just for the feel good, right? But what about really doing the work? Are we using the tools? I have started to save sessions because I see, you know, what I do is I'll share them to my inbox. So where it says send as a message, because you know I can't share it to my page or anything because it's a private group, I'll send it to my inbox and I go back over the sessions and I make sure that I'm taking thorough notes. So I encourage you guys to do the same. Let's not just get on here to feel good for the hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, however much time we go over, but let's use the tools. And I have to say, today I'm tasked with, again, sharing my screen. And I didn't want to because I want this to be 30 minutes and I want it to be perfect. And that has been my experience with every session, but something always happens. Y'all do not know what these admins go through. You must bless everybody because it is such a production sometimes. And even though y'all sit here and we have fun and we laugh and you guys share and share and share, you have no clue what's going on in the background. It gets a little crazy. So please respect that. And one of the things are the challenges that I have sometimes and messing up. But one thing about the community is it never takes away from the session. I always walk out of here like, I don't even want to go to work. I started just doing this on like taking my vacation days, the days I have new sessions. And I didn't do that today because I can't do it always. But just so I could, you know, stay in those emotions, follow up, read your chats, journal, and things of that nature. So I really just wanted you guys to know that. And I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Hold on. Wait, okay, wait. Here we go. And this has just helped me to become a better presenter. Am I sharing my screen? Oh, wow.
Yes, you are.
Didn't need to do that yet. See? But it's been such a great learning experience for me. Look at how, so now what happened, that was from my last session. I done lost my whole presentation because it's not there, but these are the things that happen, and you guys have helped me to be able to make it through challenges and grow. And you know, usually when things go wrong, we're disappointed and we're like, oh, it wasn't as good as it could be. I honestly never feel that way. And it has a lot to do with you guys. So we're going to try that again. That was a perfect example. Bam. Here we go. You guys can see that?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay. And in releasing perfection, I'm just going to leave it like this, guys. Okay. All right. So on or around August 17th, I did a presentation called Normalizing Child Sexual Abuse Prevention. I think that was the second session that I did. And we talked about the risk factors and things that we could do to prevent child sexual abuse. We also talked about the prevalence of child sexual abuse. We had some personal shares. I am the Changemaker, and this is my brand and how I like to design my sessions. I always have a toxic norm on the left-hand side, and you see my little icon there. And on the right side, I have the change that I want to see. So for that workshop, I had a world taking action against child sexual abuse and making its prevention a part of everyday life. Does anybody remember that session? I was so, yes, Z, you were very, very, very vocal in that session. And I think that was like my first real interaction with you. And I was so, so overwhelmed after that session. And you guys had me like remix my whole approach to some things. And I was supposed to send parent packs. And then something happened personally in my life because I lost a lot of people this year. And I feel like every time there's a woo session, something happens, somebody dies, something. And it took me forever to get you guys the parent packs, but I finally emailed them to you, and then I heard absolutely nothing from the community. So I want to check in because I need feedback, because I feel like, and Shawnee tells me even my sessions are overload. I feel like it was like information overload, but I need feedback. So did anybody actually go through that material? And do you have any feedback for me?
Teresa had her hand up. Teresa, were you part of this session and received one of those packages from
I
Martine?
did. I have to be honest. I didn't check my email, but I did see that you sent it to me. But the session was very thought provoking. It made me think about a lot of stuff. It made me realize how much that subject is not really talked about in the community, and that it needs to be, a lot more talked about. As far as like, how they talk about different things, like when Shawnee does maternal health, that's not talked about. Like when you talked about child sex thing, it's talked about a little bit, but it's not really talked about. Like it needs to be like a big banner about it, because so many people are dealing with sexual molestation and don't even know that they are dealing with it. So that's the reason why I think it's a great subject, and I'm complete.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for your honesty. And you're right, because the CDC has deemed this a public health crisis, and there's not enough information about it. I feel like this is something that should be being taught in schools, just slip right into the curriculum. And that was the motive. So if I start here, I took forever to send it. Z doesn't even know if she got it. And that's very understandable. But where people who did get it didn't open it, this is what I'm talking about. So let's take each other to task. We're checking in. So what I'm going to do, and if you weren't part of that session, what this is, it's a virtual parent pack. And it just has a bunch of tools, and it may be too much. This is why I need feedback. And this is kind of like my pilot. I've given this parent pack in, in the form of handouts, which I feel like is maybe a little easier. You scan and you take from what you need. But the virtual, I have them actually numbered. And Tiffany, if you could help me with the chat while I'm screen sharing, because I see Z just said something. I have the number, but I need to hear from you. So I'm going to resend that email to the group that I have. And if anybody wants to learn how to talk up to their children about child sexual abuse prevention using you can check out my approach. There's a lot of resources out there. You don't have to use my approach. Please send me a parent pack and drop your email address in the chat, and I'll include you in that email.
All right. So while people are doing that, if they're interested in what Martine is willing to share, Z's suggestion is a suggestion. If you send something later than you intend, consider posting in the Woo group that you sent it and the subject to look for, so people can look for it. I get tons of messages, and only look for things that I know. Only look for things if I know to. So that's a great one. So yes, since they may not have been sent out when you intended to send them out, and they went out later, to drop that note like, hey, if you were in this session and you requested the information, it's now been sent to you. Thank you, Z. That's a great share.
Yes, it was. Thank you very much, Z. I appreciate that. I appreciate that feedback.
I'm going to drop in the chat, I would like a packet.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
All
Okay.
right.
So what I realized, forgive me if I look like I'm looking up, because I am. Just because I want to share my notes. So then the next session was on August 31st, and it was the 7 pillars of purposeful online dating. You know, before I move on from that, because the child sexual abuse, you know, that's my baby. And after reading the chat, I needed a therapy session. I was so touched by your shares, but it also made me very, very, very sad. So seriously, guys, let's make a commitment, especially those of you who sat through the session and you got something out of it. This is about the children. Let's make a commitment to, even if you don't use my stuff, but if you liked it, you got so much out of it, let's really empower these children to have a voice and minimize child sexual abuse, because the statistic is 1 in 10, and they say 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys. And we know that it's probably more than that, because statistics, as I always tell you, I use them here, but they're based on reports. There are a lot of bias, not supposed to be, but there are a lot of bias behind statistics. This is just to give you an idea, but the problem is usually greater, in some cases, a lot smaller. But I think we know, if we did just a quick polling here, many people right here have been sexually abused. So let's stop that, because that's my mission. The reason why I birthed this was because I was sexually abused. So let's stop it from happening to the future, the children now, okay? I always say, if they've never been touched, let's stop them from being touched. Okay, I'm complete with that. So the next session was August 31st, the 7 pillars of purposeful online dating. And I came up with that because the toxic norm, more than 50% of Black children live in single parent households. And the change I want to see is educating singles on ways to implement purposeful dating practice that will lead to lasting marriages. So I tried my hand at online dating. And even though the 7 pillars are for purposeful online dating, they're really for purposeful dating, period. But the reason why, I was online dating and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I wasn't meeting anybody, just out and about. So I created a space on Zoom where singles could come together and we could speed date. But the most important part is our conversation. And especially for women, I felt like it was a great opportunity for us to bring in some quality men, because it started with the women. And I asked every woman to bring a man that they deem a good catch, but for whatever reason they can't date him. Maybe you're related to them, maybe you don't want to cross those lines, but if you could, this would be my man, because he's just such a great guy. And if all of us brought one person, then we could mix and mingle, which sometimes could get messy, but we're grown, and maybe make some meaningful connections. So about 3 people came to that session, including Shawnee. I think John Carl came, Shauna Lay came, Ray Al came. And we had a really, really, really great time. I don't know if connections were made because we didn't speed date that day, but they be in that chat, how you can select a name. And so sometimes the guys will say, "Hey Z girl, how you doing? I think you're cute. Can I get your number?" So I don't know what all happened there. Some connections were made, and it's something that I do monthly. Does anybody have any feedback on either that session or if they actually attended the Zoom? Let me just go through my slides here.
Okay, great, Martine. I was just actually getting ready to let you know that the pillars weren't up. I actually do remember that session. I facilitated that for you. And though I'm married now, as a single mom, I wish I had had some of these pillars and some of these things when I was dating, when I was getting to know my husband, who we're childhood friends and everything like that, because they would have helped me avoid some toads that were in my road before I met my husband, so these are great pillars to have. So this is a good one, ladies and gentlemen. If you have children and you're interested in dating, or may not right now be interested in dating, but maybe down the line, take this so that you can have it for later on, because they're gems. I'm complete with that thought.
Great. So these are the 7 pillars of purposeful dating, and they're 1 through 7. I named my pillars. I think you know, in research that I've done and talking to people, that's how I came up with these pillars. But you can make these pillars whatever you want them to be. And so under these pillars, these are specifics for me, what I need. And what this helps you to do is to interview somebody, you know, so as you're getting to know each other, identify deal breakers early on so that you don't get, and if you honor yourself in your word, you will not get caught up with anybody who doesn't align with this. Now, pillar number 7 is level of compromise because, you know, I don't like to cook. So I prefer a man who cooks. So I have a little flexibility in that area. It's probably like a 2, really maybe like a 3, but a 2, because if the man is everything else that I want in all other areas, I'm not going to stop talking to him because he doesn't cook, and now I have to cook. So see, that's how that works. So you guys can take a screenshot of that, and anybody who wants this, the blank form where you can fill it out yourself, say, I want the pillars, and put your email, and then I'll send you that. I'll give you guys a second to take a screenshot. But so my most successful session was when I involved Woo and my Be the Tree sisters. We had a great turnout. And I would like to say that I personally thought that the quality of men in there was exceptional, except for one man. And this is the thing that I always say, do not invite strangers, don't post it on Facebook, because we want to maintain the quality of the room. And there was one rabble rouser who made the session quite challenging at times, made a lot of people feel uncomfortable, but that's the point that I'm trying to make. We want to invite somebody who we would date. So somebody invited somebody that they didn't really know that well. We don't want to do that. So if anybody is single and is interested in that, say, invite me to hear me out, please, and put your email address in the chat. And you can be invited to the next session because it's very private and closed. Okay, now, if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, this is just one of the tools that I use. It's my body safety rules for the child sexual abuse prevention. I forgot to bring it up. And this is for younger children, but I always tell everybody, a lot of this subject matter is for younger children, just graduated, okay? Okay, private parts. If you're going over that part and you're talking to a 17-year-old, you know, you can call the private parts what they are, and you can talk about the situations that they're going through. Just elevate the conversation to fit the audience. Okay, give you a quick second to get a screenshot of that if anybody needs to do so. Okay, then on October 25th, I did the session, The Magic of 1, 2, 3. And the toxic norm I identified was about 1 in 7 children were abused and neglected this past year. Children age 1 and under experience abuse and neglect the most. And the change I wanted to see is educating parents, that I still want to see, is educating parents and caretakers on child development, alternatives to corporal punishment, and the importance of self-care. Now, this session went over. It was supposed to be a 30-minute session, but that's the session where I had a whole bunch of technical difficulties. And we went well over an hour, I think, on that 30-minute session because I was getting so much feedback from the crowd. We had some people who weren't in agreement with what I was saying, but I want to know we're definitely going to do a follow-up session, but what did everybody think about that session? So what I was trying to do was get parents to cut down on yelling and beating their kids by using a trick called 1, 2, 3 magic. That's not from me, it's from a psychiatrist. I think his name is Thomas Phelan. And he says that you will minimize yelling and spanking your kids or punishing them in other ways if you use this simple trick. You say, when they're performing a behavior you don't want to do, your kid is jumping up on the bed, you say, that's 1, please stop jumping on the bed. That's 2. And you give them time, you don't do it that fast. You watching them jump. You say, little Henry, that's 2, please stop jumping on the bed. If I get to 3, I'm going to, all right, Henry, that's 3. And when you get to 3, You must consistently, every single time, put forth the punishment that you said that you would. Don't get to 3 and be like, I don't feel like getting the belt, but I told him I was going to spank him, so now I'm going to just put him in the corner and time out. That's no. Consistency is key. You must put forth the promise that the punishment that you promised or that you threatened. Okay, we're not making empty threats here. So anybody who wants to take a screenshot of this, I advise you to go back and look for the session and watch the session. If you are a parent who screams, cusses, find yourself beating your kids too much, because this really works. It still works today on my 17-year-old. Teresa, what do you have to say for me?
I thought that was a good session because some people didn't like beating, some people did, some people thought it was okay. But I learned I could use this with my grandchildren. Hopefully I won't be having no more babies. But I'm just being honest, but I don't know because I haven't, had that happen in a long time. But I just felt that why it lasted so long because everybody was just talking about how they, what they felt and what they did. So it was really a good talk because I think, like I was talking to my granddaughter again last night, and she had all this hair on her. So I said, did you wear it to school? She was like, yeah. So she said they made some kind of statement about she looked like a hoochie mama. I said, so why you think they said that? They said because they felt like, the hair was a lot. I say, Grandma thinks that is a lot too, but maybe what you could do is offer them that, because she's a great hairdresser. She's going to be 16 next month, and she could. I would pay her to do.
Muted yourself, Teresa. You would pay her to do.
No, I said I would pay her to do my hair. That's how good she does it. But and I've seen hairdressers, and she could outbeat them. Now she's great, but she's just natural talent. So I said to her, well, maybe you can to beat down, like to get away the hater. I call it, they call it haterism. To get rid of the haterism, maybe you could offer some of the girls that you'll do their hair as the thing. So she said she'd think about it, but I said it is a lot of hair, baby girl, for going to school. I could see it on a special occasion, but that's the difference between what I do and what my son does. So I have to learn how to deal with, where they're at in order to keep a relationship, with my granddaughter, because she reaches out to me a lot. So I don't want to, be so rough on her because, her father says yes to something and I might say no. So it's causing me to be more open-minded with my grandchild so I can have a relationship with her, and I'm complete.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I don't know if anybody actually used this, but there was, and I cannot remember her last name, if y'all could help me. There was somebody named Camille. She was, I think, our last share on that session, and she followed up with me. And this is what she had to say. She's not here this morning. I wanted her to give you guys a verbal review, but she sent me a text and she said, deep gratitude for 123 Magic. It works. Blessings and thank you. And so her kids are 9, 12, and 14. Okay. She went on to say that it brought so much peace to my family. I am grateful. You are a gem. That's what she had to say. And it will bring peace to your family because your interactions with your kids will be so much better. It's really about setting healthy boundaries for them. The reason you get to their eye level, you count to 3 because you're giving them time to think about their actions and to make a decision on whether or not they're going to do the right thing. But it only works if you follow through with punishment each and every time. Does anybody else have anything quickly to say? Because we're already at 6:32, and anybody who has to leave, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Make sure you watch the playback. So we didn't make our goal of not going over, but we're wrapping up really quick.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Morning, this is Laura. Good morning, everyone.
Laura.
Everybody, I have to jump in. I'm getting ready to go, but I must say, wow, I had a session with you on Monday, and we explored so many things. I want to say thank you. We had a session on setting boundaries, and the takeaways I got, the biggest one was that the root of the problem lies with me. And I have to get help and do the work to help me to release the blockages, the guilt, the not using my voice, the lack of self-worth, not being impeccable with my words. We explored so much in such a short time because you were so clear, you were specific, you were concise, and I'm just truly grateful for the tool you gave me to journal about what self-worth was before and writing positive statements now about self-worth, because it's bringing up so much more for me. And I'm adding that to my gratitude and forgiveness journal. So this is another one I'll practice daily. I just want to say thank you, Martine. Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you. That session fed my soul. And woo, I don't want to make y'all jealous, but that was absolutely the most moving and beneficial session for me, because one of the things that I learned from the great Shawnee Benton Gibson is that you do not have to be an expert. And everything that she's describing and that she struggled with, I've evolved and I've done better, but I still struggle with. So as I'm talking to her, I'm hearing myself and I'm nourishing myself too. And then her feedback, her facial expressions, it just did so much for me, because that was my very first one-on-one coaching session. So I thank you to Laura, and thank you for using your voice here and cutting us off because you have to go, because I really needed everybody to hear that as well. So on that note, thank you. I'm going to do these two together. About 81% of women experience sexual harassment and 13% experience sexual coercion, more than half of what men experience.
Slide up, baby. You can't see it. You didn't change the slide. Put the slide up. We're seeing 1 in 10 children are sexually abused.
Oh yeah, no, this is it. So I'm right here. You see,
okay.
the fourth point. Thank you for saying that. I should have told you guys where I was going, right here. So the change I would like to see is setting a precedent, normalizing women setting and maintaining healthy boundaries as to prevent all types of unwanted advances, and empowering them to deny such advances without repercussion. So we had this session that went extremely over. I tried my best to get part 2 in this month, but it didn't happen. This would have been the part 2, and we're going over for this little short session, so we definitely would have gone over. But stay tuned, because I did schedule it for January. I thought it was December, but Woo is booked up. Okay, the juiciness is there for December, so it'll be, I think, the first week of January. But anybody who sat in on that session have anything to say? Setting boundaries, and it's okay if you guys don't. So the other session that I was telling you about was based on this statistic. About 40% of women don't reach orgasm during sex, and about 25% of women don't achieve orgasm at all. And I feel like all those things tie in together. And I did that session with the lovely Sanya Sinheru Negron. And the change I would like to see is eliminating any taboos around female orgasm and educating and empowering women to learn about their bodies and their personal desires and needs in order to achieve orgasm regularly and have healthy and fulfilling sex lives. That was quite a session. That chat has become my nighttime reading because it is so juicy. And y'all went in. Oh my goodness. We opened up many doors and gates and senses that haven't been used that day. And we claimed our right to orgasm. And that was an intro session to a paid workshop that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But I want to talk to Z. Teresa, if we have time, we'll hear from you. I want to talk to Z. And the reason why I want to talk to Z is because I missed I caught something that you said, and I gave you some feedback. I don't know if you got it, but when we were doing the release, you were saying you didn't know what you what you should release, and you were very blocked in this area. And Sanderson was in the chat. I don't know if she missed what you said, but I would like to address you, because if I had read all of what you said, I definitely would have addressed you. So if you don't mind, because I know it's kind of sensitive too, can you bounce back and forth with me right now?
Why not?
My brave souls of the Wu community. So the exercise, the task was to have 3 columns, something that you want to release, a blockage that's stopping you from orgasming, because it starts in the mind. Sometimes it doesn't start in the mind. Sometimes it does start with an unexpected touch. You're like, oh, okay, he did that. All right, I like that. But if we are too much in your mind about it, you may not be able to receive even from an expert. So the task was to release a blockage, state what you desire or deserve, and then come up with an affirmation. And you were having trouble with that. Tell us why.
I was shut down in that area, like mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically shut down in that area for a really, 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 really long time, like more than 20 years. I've been celibate for almost 20 years. I started a relationship right before COVID started. And I was very interested in the intellectual exchange. I was very interested in the general intimacy. But when it came to that, I'm still really not interested. You know, I don't know why I haven't had time to explore it, because I got so many other things I'm dealing with. At some point I will explore it, but right now it's like so far on the back burner that I can't find the pot.
Okay. All right. So it's not something that you desire to do, but you can't. It's just not on your radar for right now. Okay. And you know that there is nothing wrong with that. And maybe somebody needed to hear your voice. I affirm you in that. There is a lot of people who go on these celibacy journeys because they want to focus on other things. You know, sex has a lot of benefits, but it also drains you and depletes you in other areas. So some people purposefully go on celibacy journeys. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you say that you will revisit it later. That's a beautiful thing. Make sure you come see about me if you have any trouble, because maybe once you're ready, you know, it'll unfold for you. So, okay, I just wanted to clear that up. I wanted to make sure that we didn't skip over you or miss you. And that's why I try my best. It may take me a couple of days or weeks, but I read through every chat and I follow up with you guys. And I love you. We're going to close out with Miss Teresa. Let me just bring this slide up.
Shawnee gonna share. I'm good.
I'm sorry, because I can't even see all of you. But this is the session that we're having. Is $25, $5 off for every paid participant you bring. So you guys can take a screenshot of that. We are going to go into the who, what, when, where, and how of achieving these beautiful, earth-shattering orgasms, which, you know, they're not always that, but if I can do it, you can do it. So that is my goal for you and my share with you. Shawnee, what do you have to say, love? Let me see if I can find you. I need to see you.
I'm here. I'm not coming on camera though. I'm moving around in the house.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Woo family. So I just wanted to, and I may have missed a piece of it. So if I did, if that was Z that was just speaking, is that correct? Yes?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wonderful. So I am curious about this, because sometimes, you know, I do also have over the years a lot of conversations with people one-on-one with groups about sex and sexual expression. I tie sex and intimacy to my spirituality, and I teach people that there's a thin line between the two of them, and we're not taught that, so we don't gain the opportunities that avails to us when we engage in intimacy, whether it's pleasuring ourselves or being pleasured by a partner or partners. So when folks say that they're celibate, I'm always curious about whether it's celibacy or abstinence, because celibacy, the way I understand it and understand it, is a redirecting of our sexual energy. You may not be penetrated or experiencing pleasure or giving yourself pleasure, but you're allowing the Kundalini energy or that vibration that sexual energy carries to be redirected, utilized to generate, to create, all of that. So when I listen to you, Z, what comes up for me is that there's a level of emotional mutedness, that I experience of you. And that day when Martine and Sonia Zen were facilitating, I was so conscious of your disconnect. And I'm like, just because you're celibate doesn't mean that you can't be in conversation and connected to the energy, the joy, the release, the relief of sexuality, sensuality, and powerful partnership. I was not with anyone in my house. I was not pleasuring myself, but the pleasure that I got from listening to people speaking about their experiences of pleasure and what they want and what they need gave me joy and gave me life that day, and had me thinking like, wow, I really want a partner so I can explore this more deeply, not just about orgasm, but about co-creative energy and what that can provide, and love making and being with people on that level. So I just wanted to put that out there. No judgment, no shade, just observation. I felt you not present in the space, even though your name was on the list and your box was there. So I just wanted to put that in the space.
I received that, and you're absolutely correct. I was I was in that regard. I was back to functional zombie. I was really not present. I was there. I witnessed everything. I didn't experience anything.
Could that have been, I'd just like to offer this because I can imagine myself, okay, if I made the conscious decision, be it because of blockages, but just because I'm not ready to revisit this right now. I'm not ready to visit this. I have other things going on. And now I come in on this session and I'm asked to do these exercises, and the anxiety of that, is it because of something deeper, or is it because you simply couldn't participate?
I honestly can't answer that right now. That's how far I've pushed it out of my purview.
You pushed it out of your purview. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would just like to offer, if you ever end up in spaces like that, to stand on that and not feel that you have to come up with something or participate, but say, hey, I'm going to sit back with my popcorn and listen to you guys, but I can't participate in this because that's not where I'm at right now. All right. And whenever you're ready, we're here for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Love you, Z.
I would appreciate all of you. This is the family that's close, even closer to me than my children.
I get
Because
that.
there's a whole lot of stuff I could never tell my children, but I can tell y'all. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Miss Teresa, we're gonna end with you because we are so over. And then Kenyofu was here. She would say, "I told you, Martine."
I just want to encourage anyone that once you do get to that place like Shawnee is, it is a different life. Once I started embracing my sexuality, my spirituality as a combined thing, I'm a better woman. I'm a lot more creative. I love myself more. So it changes your life. And so I know, like we might feel like we can't do it, but we can do it. We can all do it together because we love each other in here. And there's some things that I have said and done and that I have never, ever done in my life. And I am so proud of myself because I came out of being abused, being molested, all that kind of stuff. And I want to be sexual. It's not like if I no, I love being sexual. I love that conversation was so explosive for me, even though I hadn't had a sexual partner, but I felt like we had a lovemaking session that day. And so, that might sound kind of crazy, but it was like we were so into each other and just enjoying one another. And that was a beautiful experience for me. And I didn't feel no guilt, no shame. I just felt like, hey, I'm hanging with my peeps, and we just expressing our love and our sexual, explosion or whatever that we had that day. But that was a beautiful section. And I just want to encourage anyone, not just anyone who has those things. Once you let go, whatever that stuff that's holding you down, man, you're gonna be freed up so much. My goodness, you're gonna be free. I'm telling you, you're gonna be a free person. And I have not arrived, but I am so much freer since I connected those two together. And it's a lovely, lovely feeling. It's yummy, yummy. Like when I said I wanted oxtails, I meant that. It was like I taste like oxtails because I think oxtails is a great food. So that just took it to a whole nother level for me. And I'm complete.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's just keep in mind, yes, we're planting seeds, but there could be so many other factors. So that's why I say whenever you're ready. And with that, family, I thank you again. I thank you for being a part of my evolution. I've never done anything like this. All of these things are just ideas that I had in my head. Thank you for helping me manifest and walk in my purpose. And with that, I love you and I'm complete.
Thank you, Martine. Thank you. We're gonna take down your screen share for me. Awesome, beautiful. All right, what do I got going on here? All right, let's start this closeout. All right, so for anyone who wants to stay in touch with Martine, here is her contact information. I believe I'm going into present mode. Sorry, my computer's being a little glitchy here. So we have Martine's telephone number, her Facebook, touch.therebellion, and then her email, info@touchtherebellion@gmail.com. So please take a screenshot of that, jot it down. All right, gonna move on. Denise, if you could drop it in the chat, that'll be great too. Coming up tomorrow, we have the beautiful and remarkable Mika Joseph facilitating how to create and enjoy a self-giving season. That's gonna be tomorrow, November the 18th. So please come in and join us. Welcome all new members, all newcomers to the WOO community, a community where we come to learn, elevate, and ascend. If this is your first time in session with us, please drop it in the chat. We want to recognize you and invite you to come back tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. The Wake Up Everybody anthology is in the works. You should have all received an email inviting you to complete the survey. If not, it's bit.ly/woo stories. Complete the 10 questions by November the 21st. That's this coming week. And we'll take those answers to develop the themes for the book, set up questions so that we can be finalized and get sent out. And then we look forward to receiving your submissions, and all in the hopes and manifestation that we will have this book ready and complete for release by March 29th, 2022, the 2-year anniversary of Wake Up Everybody. This is our schedule. We are live 5 days a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We're on Zoom and Facebook from 7 to 8:30, Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 7:30. And then if you would like notifications when it's time to go live with us, text the word WOO Nation to 74121. Have you ordered your WOO swag today? Get your thermoses, your teacups, your coffee cups, t-shirts, sweatshirts, face masks, so that you can rep the community. It is gift giving season, so nothing makes a perfect gift like a bag of WOO swag. Thank you, everyone. Here's how you stay in touch with us. Register at bit.ly/wake up movement. We're on Facebook in a private and public forum. Privately, it's bit.ly/WOO community. Publicly, we're at bit.ly/WOO Nation. Follow us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. Find us on YouTube at bit.ly/woo on YouTube. And then, of course, you can always email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Now, everyone, I asked you to come off of mute. Let's give Martine the rest of her nourishment. Thank her for coming in, sharing with us, exposing herself, and being vulnerable to all that we have to give her. Thank you, Martine. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Martine. That was
Thank you.
Thank you,
Blessings.
Martine. Thank you for bringing the big O.
you.
You bring the big
Thank
O
you.
even when we're not doing
Good
O.
for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martine. Thank you, Martine.
Love
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
Martine.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Love you, family. Have a great
Thank
day.
you,
Thank you.
Martine. Thank you.
Love you back.
Thank
Have a
you
great
all.
day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sexual healing is in the house, family.
Thank you.
Yes, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Have a great day,
I
family.
love y'all. Have a wonderful day.
Love you too, sweetie.
Love you
Enjoy.
more.
Love you, sweetheart.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Love you.